Okay, Kurt, what's your thoughts about what's behind you?
So it's the big day today. So very excited for these to unveil and for everyone to see them here at the Caboolture Historical Village. And it's just so amazing. Everything's come along so well. And yeah, just very excited to see it.
Thank you very much indeed. Thank you. Look, I grew up in Maclean on the Clarence River, not so far south. You know, for me as a little boy, I used to think as Brisbane, that was the big city, because we visited a couple of times just after the war. I was born in 1940. When my father came back in 1945, we moved to Maclean on the Clarence River. And my father had a truck and he used to deliver various things. And I remember once we delivered some fish to the Brisbane fish markets. We went through Surfers Paradise. It was an intersection. That's all it was, an intersection with one set of lights, you know? And came up here to Brisbane, and it was, even to my mind then, a kind of small country town. And then Expo. Look, I was asked to do the outside of the Australian Pavilion by Ken Woolley. He's dead unfortunately now, but he designed the whole thing. And I remember I was just thinking then, because I hadn't thought about it for a long time, I was just thinking about the first meeting that I had with him. I knew him well, and he'd done some wonderful buildings in Sydney. How would we make something that symbolised all of Australia? Originally we thought, well, maybe we could do the outside of the building itself with various things, and then it became so complicated that we thought we'd simply do the word. And then in the word itself, we thought we would do two versions of that, the stacked version and the long version. Look, you often wonder where your paintings go. You know, when you do a picture and someone buys it and you think, well, I hope that they still love it. But for this, to come and see these again after 30 years, and for all of the people who've worked so hard to keep these letters and to have them here, I'm immensely touched, immensely. What else can I tell you? Look, we stayed last night in a very nice hotel beside South Bank, and I guess that's one of the benefits of the end of, and it's just that South Bank area is absolutely fantastic. Absolutely. I can tell you something else that happened with Expo. I was also asked to design the outside of the UNICEF Pavilion, and that's why I've been involved, or we as a whole family have been involved with UNICEF since 1988. And that continues to remind me of two things: how optimistic Australia is, how fantastic it is to be Australia, and how tough it is on some kids in other parts of the world. When you go to see refugee camps and you see the hardships that are going through, and then you look at these kids down here and realise they are the recipient of the luck of living in the greatest country in the world. Thank you.
Hello, I'm John Hanley. I worked at Expo 88 and I'm up here at the Caboolture Historical Village to see the unveiling of these fantastic new signs.
And you're standing out of today's Fest House, John.
Absolutely, absolutely. Waiting for it to open to enjoy a quiet lemonade.
Thanks, John.